Hi guys, Andy Work here and back for the next build. And we have a Doublestrike. Now you might wonder why I'm doing this. Well, the reason is I bought myself a 3D printer, as you can see. And I've been playing around with it, right? So, I guess part of the build is working out how do you do this. And so what I did first was I looked on Thingiverse and seen people had made barrel covers or barrel shrouds, or whatever you want to call them. So I decided to do it myself. So I printed a ring, see if that would fit on, and it didn't. But then I just using a ruler and veneer calipers, measured bits and made changes and got it to a shape that fit a bit better, a little bit. Then I realised I had to make a notch out in the top. So I printed something with a notch. Now this is only half of one of these profiles, simply because I was getting so many of them. Once I printed it and made the changes, I'd break it apart. So as you can see, that fits a lot better. It's very good following the profile of the body of the Doublestrike. I'll just make sure you can see this. There you go. And got a little notch down there which I cleaned up later to more of a straight line, more of a straight profile. But then I got to this stage and that fits on really nice. So by doing it that way, I'm using very minimal filament. And the prints are only taking like 19-20 minutes each. So once I did that, I then just extended all those walls up and got my first shape, which is not too bad. Very loose, of course, haven't got it tight. That profile is not the same as that one, it's more like this, but you see the idea. So I do that and move along. So as you can see, I've done an awful lot of them, wasted a lot of filament, but that's going back in the recycle bin. Until finally I got to this one. I think it's this one. Yes, this one. This has got a much tighter profile, as you can see, and when you put it on, clicks on, really nice. Not going to come off, and looks pretty cool. So, by the time I got to here, I was a bit tired of this design, so I actually redesigned it, and this is what I came up with. And this is most of the next print. What happened was the filament broke. And it didn't finish, but I did find out that I had a problem with this straight flat surface at the bottom here is not the same as this one, because this is curved, and it just has enough curve in it to allow the bottom of the barrel to fit in. So this one you try and fit it in and it hits it. And on the Doublestrike, of course, I had to cut off the top silly little aiming notch, whatever it is, and shave that down. And I could cut some more down to make it fit, but since this didn't work anyway, I just redesigned it so I put a notch in the bottom. So the next step is to get one of those printed out. I'm having a bit of problems printing at the moment because apparently filament is affected by moisture in the air. And when you've got moisture in the air, your filament has all sorts of problems. You can see a bit of the stringing on here. So I'm probably getting some new filament in a couple of days, and I'll put it on and just try and print again without changing any settings, just to prove to myself it was the filament or I've stuffed up the settings on the printer. So we're going to have something similar to that. The next step is I'm going to cut this base, this pistol grip off along this line, because a major problem is it's not big enough for adult hands. You've got fingers sticking out. So cut off that, then with one half of it trace the inside of that void on the top and the bottom, make them, flip them over and copy them and work out what the inside shape is, and then use those two shapes and draw in SketchUp a piece that joins those two shapes together as smooth as possible to match the curve of this. That way I can extend the pistol grip so it fits my gigantic lily white hands. Yeah, that's the next thing. I could put another pistol grip from another Nerf blaster on it, but I want to try that, see if it works. Once we've got that on, it looks good, but this little recess here, I've seen a few people put things on Thingiverse, so I decided to give it a go, and I came up with this little, I've got a protruding vent and I've got a flat vent. They both fit in the same way. Depending on the way you put it in, it actually looks like it's slightly angled up or slightly angled down. So I actually like the slightly angled up look. So there you go. So that's what it looks like. Gives it a little more detail. So with the new front end I'm trying to print right now, the vents and the new pistol, extended pistol grip, we're well on our way to our next build. Another thing, guys, is on these, the first ones I did, you can clearly see the facets of the circle. Well, it's an oval, but I had to draw it as a circle first. CorelDRAW defaults to 24-sided circle. So if I want to get rid of that, I have to do a lot more sides, and it turned out to be 196. So you can't actually see the sides on that. The light shining on it is catching it, but there's no real solid lines between the facets, which is really good. The thing about CorelDRAW, it can do 196 sided cylinders, but it doesn't like doing 196 sided domes. So this dome is just a 24 sided cylinder, a 24 sided circle squashed into an oval and a dome shape molded onto it. So 24 sides, 196 sides, I just stuck them together. I didn't try and clean it up in any way at all, and it worked. So I'm happy with that, not a problem. So with the new front end I'm trying to print right now, the vents and the new pistol, extended pistol grip, we're well on our way to our next build. So I'll sign off there and see you soon. Bye.